Hey folks, Lever here once again. Welcome back to another review. Hope everyone's having a good day and hope you all been having a good week. Yeah, I believe today is the last day of January, so we're getting to the month of February now. I hope you all enjoyed my last revisit reviews. That was The Amazing Spider-Man 2 and X-Men Days of Future Past. Those are on my new channel right now. Oh, guys, remember, it's the mass profile picture. Thank you for the 183 subs, guys. Keep on subscribing, but get those 200. My goal is to get to 500, though, so yeah. Remember, stay subscribed to this channel. You can watch videos on my other channel with the Batman Mask of the Phantasm profile picture, but with the Jim Carrey, the mask for the mask movie, the mask profile picture. This is my new channel, so stay subbed to here, okay? I just like reminding you guys. And anyway, with my channel, my name's Liv now. I've actually been here on YouTube for 11 years, but I had to update this channel. I had to get a new channel here, uh, so I kind of had to start over. But I felt like it was for the best. Feel like my videos are making me views and you guys have been watching. I appreciate that. And don't be afraid to comment. Give me thoughts on movies. Yeah. Again, I don't put up with trolls or any negativity from people who want to be negative. Any of that I block and delete. But those that respect my opinion and want to talk, will be civil about it. We can talk like adults. We can act like we're grown and have common sense. And respect each other's opinions and agree to disagree. We're good. You know, all I ask is that you respect me, my opinion, and I respect yours. That's all I ask. It's not so hard to ask, is it? You're always welcome to disagree with me any movie, on any movie. It's fine. You know. But anyway, welcome back to another 2010s. I've been doing a superhero marathon, folks, and what I've been doing is called the 2010s era of superhero movies. These are superhero movies that came out in the 2010 decade. That is 2010 to 2019. Yeah. And now I'm in the year 2014. I got about three movies left, and this is another revisit review. Like I said, this was probably gonna be the I think the last one for now until the next MCU movie. But anyway, this film is an MCU movie, a Marvel Cinematic Universe film. This is the 10th film in the MCU movie, directed and written by James Gunn, and starring Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, Dave Bautista, Vin Diesel, and Bradley Cooper. And my revisit review of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume One. We're just talking Guardians of the Galaxy, starting the first one. Yeah, this is basically a time where Marvel came out with this movie. I remember when this movie came out, I had no interest in seeing it. I didn't like the trailer. I didn't think I was afraid to be honest. I was like, because you had the Iron Man movies. I wasn't big on Iron Man 3 this year. Those Dark World is underrated. That's good. It wasn't a great movie, but it was good. And Winter Soldier was awesome. So we had the Avengers, we had the Captain America movies, the Thor movies, Black Widow and the Avengers movies already. So when they were gonna bring Guardians of the Galaxy to the table, which is a good reason because it was a time where the Avengers made money and the MCU was doing well, so I guess MCU figured it's time to bring these characters. Now, I didn't know who Guardians of the Galaxy was. I'm gonna be honest. I've never really read comic books, guys. I've never really read any comics, to be honest. And when this movie was announced, I'm like, I didn't know what the heck the Guardians of the Galaxy was. I never knew anything about these characters. I never read the comics. I never knew it existed. So to me, it was like, what is Guardians of the Galaxy? And then when the movie came out, it got positive reviews, and even some family members of mine, they saw the movie, enjoyed it. So I thought, okay, give it a chance. And I did, and I loved it. Saw it in theaters, saw it in the movie theater, and been a fan of the film. And it's a 10-year-old movie now, so it's been out for 10 years. Wow. 10 years ago. How time flies, huh? But this is a really entertaining movie. This was a fun movie. I do have a little bit of issues here and there, but not too much. This was another great movie. I still say Winter Soldier was my favorite. That Winter Soldier is a masterpiece to me, almost. It's a great film. You know, in my opinion. This really comes off one, but this has some issues though. You know, but again, not every movie has its fan. But I would say this, if this is better than the Star Wars sequel trilogy, because this has that Star Wars vibe to it. This feels like Star Wars, but with superheroes. And again, it's because the Avengers, this part of Marvel, decided. And then next year we got Ant Man, and then 2016 we got Doctor Strange. Then when you get the Black Panther character coming in, and then Black Panther guys moving 2018, Spider Man came into 2016. This was the same year as Amazing Spider-Man 2, which I'm sure it did better than that movie. Even though I like the Amazing Spider-Man 2, but that movie is a bit of a mess of a film. Despite that, though, I still think it's entertaining. But, you got Tom Holland in 2016, And then you got Captain Marvel in 2019. So Marvel brought some new movies to the table. It was a good time because their films were doing well, so they probably thought, well, let's add this to it, and it worked. You know, yeah. But anyway, let's get into the production of the film and all that. How I do it in my videos. I think anybody who would have said that this would have been a great main movie would have been laughed off. It's such an unthinkable thing to do, so I think it's lovely to work on something and suppose the potential to the point where a company like Marvel will say, yes, this makes sense. Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige forgot to mention Guardians of the Galaxy as a potential film at the 2010 San Diego Comic Con. There are some titles like the Guardians of the Galaxy I think they've been revamped recently and they found one in the comic book. Now this was 2010. This is when they were doing MCU starting. They had Iron Man and the Incredible Hulk, and Iron Man 2 came out that year as well. So they're probably so I guess it was the idea of it was going around for a bit. Feige retweeted that Simpson in a Simpson 2011 issue of Entertainment Weekly saying, "There's an opportunity to do a big space epic," which Thor sort of hints at. In this comic side of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Feige added, "Should the film be made, it would feature an ensemble characters, kind of like first X-Men movie from 2000 and the Avengers. So this is an ensemble film, like those movies." Feige announced that the film was in active development at the 2012 San Diego Comic Con during the Marvel Studios panel. That was the same year I graduated, 2012. High school, I mean. With the intended release date of August 1st, 2014, he said the film's title team would consist of the characters Star-Lord, Drax, the Destroyer, Gamora, Groot, and Rocket. Two pieces of concept art were displayed, one of Rocket Raccoon and featuring the entire team. In August 2012, James Gunn entered talks to direct the film, beating out other contenders including the future MCU directors Peyton Reed. I think he would go on to, yeah, he would go on to make the Ant-Man movies. Yeah, for Paul Rudd. And the Avengers director Josh and the duo empire Run Flick. Oh, okay. But they're the ones that make Captain Marvel. And Josh Whedon directed the Avengers. Signed deal to on the films leading up to the Avengers sequel in 2015. Was enthusiastic about the selection of Gunn to direct, saying James Gunn is what's made think it will work. I know Gunn now is. Well, he did a superhero movie before this. It was Super, starring Rainn Wilson. I like that film. Except I didn't like Ellen Page in that movie, but that film was pretty good. It's rated R and dark. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it for your kids, but as adults you should. Adults can watch it, but I wouldn't recommend it for kids. But the kids can watch this and enjoy it, and adults too. It's a fun movie. He's off the wall and so crazy, but so smart. I know he's doing DC now. Yeah, he loves the raccoon. He's the raccoon. He has a great twist take on it. But it all comes with real love for the material. It's going to be hard for the human characters to keep it up. Writing Nicole Perlman, who enrolled in Marvel's screenwriting program in 2009, was offered several of their lesser-known properties to bend the screenplay on. Out of those, Perlman chose Dan Abbott and Andy Linda's Guardians of the Galaxy duo, Two Inches of Space and Science Fiction, adding, I think Marvel were a little taken about I chose Guardians because there were ones that would make a lot more sense if you're a comedy writer or something like that. Perlman wrote 10 drafts between 2009 and 2011, in which he traded versus combinations of the characters for the team, including the original members in the comics, before selling on Abnett and Lenny's run since their since theirs. Early drafts into the Nova, Namor, the head of the studio's writing program, suggested it change to Star-Lord. They chose Star-Lord, to be close to Han Solo type character, with the inclusion of 1980s, 1990s music from Perlman's childhood, which would become the 70s and 80s pop mixtape. And I love the soundtrack of this movie. It's nothing new. These songs in this movie are from like the 80s on, like, hooked on a feeling, or the 70s and 80s. That's one of the things from the 70s, like Star Wars said in the movie. The original opening scene of the film unveils a plan that harkened back to a memory Perlman had at Disneyland, being a drain at submarine voyage. Gunn was brought in early 2012 to contribute to the script. Eventually rewriting the script entirely because it didn't work for him. He would use the film The Dirty Dozen as a reference to the ideas of the film to Marvel. Gunn later explained that Perlman's draft was very different from the script he used filming, including a different story, character arcs, and no Walkman. He stated in Nicole's script everything was pretty different. It's not about the same stuff, but that's how the Ouija works. The 2012 screenplay also had Jason as Emperor and Peter Quill, Star-Lord fathers, just like in the comics. Marvel Studios asked Josh Whedon to revise the script ahead of Age of Ultron. Whedon detested this reveal and suggested Marvel to not make Peter part of royalty. Whedon suggested Gunn to make the story weirder after reading the early draft. Throughout the writing process, there was some debate on whether keeping Rocket as a member of the Guardians or featuring the character on the film due to concerns that he would come off as too cartoonish. Hence why a few just included the character, but Perlman felt that the character's inclusion was necessary and was happy after he's letting her keep him in the script due to him being a great Rocket fan. And August 2012, March 2's hard director, which I'm glad they did put Rocket in this movie. Chris McCoy to rewrite Perlman's script was our credit for the final film. Gunn revealed that the character was the hardest scenes to crack, with Thanos and Justin being the most difficult. He felt that having Thanos be that scene was more helpful to the MCU than it was to Guardians of the Galaxy. Yet he still wanted Thanos in the film, without betraying the antagonist of the film, which is Ronan, to solve his dilemma. Gunn chose to have Ronan kill the other, Thanos, Pfizer, saying, I thought that was interesting because we had the other hero sleep, who's obviously very powerful even in comparison to Loki. And then we see Ronan wipe his ass with him. So that I like. But even that's sort of difficult because it's played as when first wrote it. The humor didn't work so much. Parmas said that Thanos is the main villain of the film, but we asked Gunn if he could not have Thanos as the main antagonist. Gunn agreed. Thanos' role in the film, reducing Thanos' role in the plot, which is fine, building up to Infinity War. It's a little too early to have Thanos in here now. He is in this movie, but not much screen time, which is fine. And pre-production, September 2012, Gunn confirmed that he has signed on to direct the film and rewrite the script. Joe Edgerton, Jack Huston, Jim Sturgis, and Eddie Redmayne signed deals to test for the role of Peter Quill, as did Lee Pace, which he confirmed a week later. Other actors who were considered for the role included Thor: The Dark World actor Zachary Levi, who didn't get the part, but he did go to play Captain Marvel, well, Shazam, in the Shazam 2019 film. Adam Brody, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Michael Rosenbaum was considered for, I guess, Star-Lord. Well, Michael Rosenbaum voiced the Flash for DC. He also played Lex Luthor in Smallville. Yeah, I know about that whole thing about Tom Welling getting arrested, just mentioning it. But hey, he's human. We've all done stupid things, everybody has. Nobody's perfect. Chris Pratt was cast in the role in February 2013. He signed on with Marvel in January 2013. Filming was scheduled to take place at Shepherd Studios in London, United Kingdom, and Marvel Studios announced that the film will be released in 3D. Victoria Alonso, executive producer on the film, said that the filming will begin in June. She also said that Rocket Raccoon crew will be created through a combination of CGI and motion capture. Going to us said that you can't do the motion capture with a raccoon. They won't let you put the suit on. But we'll do ruination, probably for some of the behavior. We definitely will have performance to eliminate what James Gunn will lead it to be. The behavior and the performance. He's very clear on where he wants to take the characters. In March 2013, Reach discussed Guardians of the Galaxy retaliation to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, saying it's much more of a standalone film. It takes place in the same universe. Guardians Avengers are not involved with that. What's happening out there at this time. Feature said that 95% of the film would take place in space. Dave Bautista was signed to play Drax. Other actors who had been considered for the role, I can't say, Patrick Brian Patrick Wade, Jason Momoa, and Chadwick Boseman. Chadwick Boseman, who would go on to play uh, Black Panther in the MCU, T'Challa, before he sadly passed away, I think back in 2020 it was, I think. Yeah. Jason Momoa chose not to continue that tradition. One of the characters to some of the other parts, but he did go play Aquaman, though. He had played in the past and did not want to add his typecasting as a brute character, which is fine, but Jason Momoa did go on to play Aquaman, like I said, in 2018, and Justice League 2017 film. Well, the following week, Sculptor Brian Mayer, who sculpted Darth Vader's mask for Star Wars, he was revealed to be working on the film. So Escalante entered the negotiation stars with more on the film. She had been cast later that month. Amanda Starfield had been offered the role but declined due to the excessive hours of makeup required for the role and her concern with the film's availability. Sorry, can't say. Michael Rooker joined the film's cast as Yondu. It was announced that Olivia Lupin had been cast in the supporting role. By this point in time, Lee Pace was in the final negotiations to play the villain of the film. In May, Marvel offered John C. Reilly the role of Roman Dane. At the same time, it was discussed that filmmakers were looking for actors including Hugh Laurie, Alan Rickman, Ken Wannabe for another role. And Christopher Marcus and Steve McClay were providing finished touches to the script. A few days later, Glenn Close was cast as the head of Nova Corps in the film. Close shortly by the casting of Karen Gunn as the film's lead female villain. Benedict Toro, who was in Thor: The Dark World, the spoiler end credits of Thor: The Dark World. Nothing post-credit scene. Comes back to do this movie, comes back as a collector. Special effects makeup designer David White took ahead and body cast of actors such as Batista. the experimental materials used to create the characters. White said, excuse me, James always pushed for practical makeup effects. He wanted like me to see the real deal. There was a White was careful not to use modern creature designs that they did not fall short. White and his team created upwards of 1,000 product makeup applications, 2,000 molds of different colored aliens. For the specific artistic look of the film, Gunn wanted to create a colorful science fiction world, includes elements of 1950s and 60s pulp movies, setting the Ravager spaceships. Science fiction artist Chris Foster inspired and helped design the final film. The Mass Effect video games, Flash Gordon, farming inspirations on the gun. So, yeah. Photography began around July 6th. Flash Gordon was a movie that came out in 1990, starring Sam J. Jones, and it had the Star Wars feel to it. I mean, the Flash Gordon TV series. I mean, not TV series, but the series from I guess the late 30s or 40s or whatever. I never seen them, but I think they inspired George Lucas to make Star Wars. So, the filming began on July 6, 2013, in London, United Kingdom, under the working title Full Tilt. Filming took place at the studios at Shepperton Studios and Longport Studios. Gunn and the film's cast flew from London to attend San Diego Comic Con. Revealed that Pace would play Ronan the Accuser, Gillian would play Nebula, Del was the Collector. Close was later revealed to play Nova Prime. Also at San Diego Comic Con, Feige said that Thanos would be a part of the film as the mastermind. On August 11th, 2013, filming began at London's Millen Bridge, which was selected as Devil for Alexander. Marvel announced that Bradley Cooper will voice Rocket. Gunn said the filming was a little over halfway complete. In September, Vin Diesel said that he was voicing Groot. However, Marvel did not confirm Diesel's involvement in the film at the time. The writer photographer Ben Davis used Arri cameras for the film. Yeah. Gunn revealed that his brother, Sean Gunn, took on the multiple roles during the filming. Also said standing for Rocket, which he noted was beneficial for the other actors, including Sadina Bratton Batista, who responded promptly to Sean on his set performances. Sean was hired to play Gremlin, but James hired him as a stand-in for Rocket because he knew he could trust him. They could figure out how to portray Rocket. Though they know Sean would not be voicing the character, with Cooper being cast to voice Rocket very late in development. Special makeup designer David White made 2 life-size versions of Rocket and a bust of Groot as for visual effects. These busts were allowed to see on the set lighting would affect the characters to assist the visual effects lighting process. Gunn said that they attempted to use as many practical effects as possible film to aid the use of CGI. Most captured during the post-production scene are just enormous. We have a person that's 305,000 pounds of steel. Anybody who knows me knows I love the mix of practical CGI effects. I can't wait for people to see it because it's beautiful. After the release of Thor: Dark World, Feige said that Infinity Stones will be focused on the film, as well as going forward into the Phase 3 slate of films with them. Gunn originally wrote the scene of the Collector explaining about the origins of the Infinity Stones in an hour and a half, only to be them told by Marvel that they were intentionally thinking about including the Power Stone in this film, an idea that Gunn found cool to use. Thus, MCU films are a long-time story of the Avengers Infinity War that came out in 2018, based on stuff from Gunn's backstory. In Interview with the Dark World, Feige added that a third unknown Infinity Stone will be seen in the film, referred to as the Power Stone by the Collector. The mid-credit scene The Dark World revealed that, like I said, you see it when at the end with Sif and Vulgar, I think Ray Stevenson's character from The Dark World, give that stone to the Collector. A few weeks additional filming, the film's main cast and crew occurred in March 2014 at Walt Disney Studios in Burbank, California. Gunn described Thanos as the head of the snake in the film, that he would appear via performance capture. By the end of May, Josh Brolin was revealed as the voice of Thanos. A week coming in July, that Brolin now provided the performance capture for the character as well. Whedon assisted Gunn as well as casting Brolin. Thanos communicated via hologram for much of the film, though he's not appearing in it. Gunn announced on social media that he had completed work on the film, and they also included Howard the Duck in the film. Marvel used design from Swarovski's once again for the film's top sequences after liking their work for Captain America: The Winter Soldier. The film features 2,750 visual effects shots, which make up probably 90% of the film. The visual effects were made by MPC, Moving Picture Company, who worked on creating Groot, as well as Morg, Xander, and Dark Esther in the final battle on Xandar. So there is a visual effects and some CGI in here. To give Thanos the performances and weight, Moving Pictures created a new facial animation system to recreate Josh Brolin as a fully CG character, using his eyes, some of his cheek, and how his muscles move when he talks. The character's large jaw and the deep grooves that run down his face had to be carefully planned out with the movement of his face. All right, but for the film's marketing, I definitely remember the trailer for this film. Yeah, you had the trailer. Uh, you had commercials for toys. They had a toy for you know, for Star Wars mask. I remember that. They had Rocket as a toy and Star Lord's gun or whatever. The gun he got or his mask he wears in the movie. His space mask he wears, whatever you want to call it. And I think Subway, you know, did help market the movie a little bit. You know, yeah. So I remember some of the marketing for the film and the cast and crew of the movie being at the San Diego Comic Con in 2013 promoting the film. Yeah, you had a replica dancing group, which I know I have that. Yeah, yeah, had a bit of marketing that was a little crazy for this movie. And of course, the film got well received. And the film did get sequels like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Then you had the holiday special, which is on Disney Plus, and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which is the last movie they did. It is the third highest grossing film of 2014. It was a hit commercial success as part of Phase 2 of Marvel, the MCU. Yeah, Phase 2. Yeah, and it did well. This is the cast of the movie. A little bit, because some. You have Chris Pratt as Peter Quill, Star Lord. That he's a half human, half alien leader of the Guardians. He was abducted from Missouri as a child in 1988 when his mother died by a group of alien thieves, as mother's called the Ravengers. Chris Pratt. I know you say the Jurassic World movies, but I don't care for those films. But that's just me. He was in Moneyball. He was in Wanted. Yeah, he was in Zero Dark 30, which I haven't watched yet. I know he did some voice for the Lego movie, and he did a voice for the Super Mario Brother movie and Onward, working for Disney, and Passengers with Jennifer Lawrence. Yeah, and movie 43 was in that. And of course, he was in Guardians 2 and 3, and of course, Avengers Infinity War and Endgame. Yeah. Zoe Salonda as Gamora, an orphan from an alien world who seeks redemption for her crimes. She was trained by Thanos to be his personal assassin. Zoe Salonda, I don't watch an Avatar. I'm sorry, I'm not a fan of Avatar, but I love her being green in this movie. I think the makeup is really good on her in this film. I don't like her in Avatar because then first she's like, doing that cry or whatever. That's irritating. She was in the Star Trek remakes 2009 film, and she's a beautiful woman. Don't get me wrong, and a good actress. Given the right script, she can pull off a really great performance. I love her as Gamora. She was Pirates of the Caribbean, Here's the Black Pearl. I liked her in that movie. Star Trek 2009. Yeah, playing horror in that in the dark and beyond, I believe too. Yeah. And Dave Bautista as Drax Destroyer, a warrior who seeks to avenge his family's death at the hands of Ronan. Dave Bautista, well, I know he was in an episode of Smallville. He's a wrestler. And he was in, of course, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 and Volume 3, and Avengers Infinity War and Endgame as Drax. In the holiday special as well. Sorry. And Vin Diesel as a group. Vin Diesel, you should know him from the Fast and the Furious movies. Don't really care to watch them anymore, but that's just me. XX from 2001, I think. I know he did Red Egg, which I've never seen. He voiced the Iron Giant. I love the Iron Giant. Great movie, in my opinion. He was also in Saving Private Ryan. Okay, yeah, XX was from 2002. Didn't care for the sequel with Ice Cube. I hated that movie. And he had a cameo in Tokyo Drift. He does a voice for reference. Well, Groot, I guess, is a cameo. And, of course, voices Groot in Endgame and Infinity War. Does he? Okay, oh, yeah, he did. Okay. And he did a superhero movie called Bloodshot, which I did not care to see, but that's just me. And Thor: Love and Thunder. But if you know Vin Diesel, you probably know him for the Fast and Furious movies of Dominic Toretto. Bradley Cooper as Rocket, a gently injured raccoon based on bounty hunter, mercenary, and master weapons and battle tactics. Bradley Cooper, I know he was in the A-Team remake with a movie based on the film, the Hangover movies. Yeah. And Lee Pace is Ronan the Accuser, a crazy settler and a war criminal who agrees to retrieve the heart of Thanos. Lee Pace, Marmaduke is the only role I think I've ever seen him in. Where Owen Wilson voiced the Marmaduke character, dog movie or whatever. Don't really remember too much about that. He was in Lincoln. In Captain Marvel, he comes back as Ronan the Accuser. It was like early days before I guess he met the Guardians, came across the Guardians. Michael Rooker as Yondu, a blue skinned bandit who's the leader of the Ravagers, and a Frida Quill who, when he whistles, he has like this arrow. When he whistles, it'll come up at you, possibly kill you too. Michael Rooker, he's done some action movies as well. Yeah, a good actor. Henry Betrayal of a Serial Killer. He's been in movies since the 80s. Ran of a Cop, 8 Men Out. He was in Cliffhanger with Sylvester Stallone. And funny, Stallone would actually be in the sequel to Volume 2, so that was cool that him and Stallone had a scene together because I love Cliffhanger. That's probably almost to be honest, nearly my favorite Stallone movie. Tombstone, great movie. He's in as well. Mallrats, I've seen him in that. He was in direct video. He was in Replicant with Jean-Claude Van Damme. The Sixth Day with Arnold playing a bad guy in that. Okay, yeah, I mentioned Replicant. Working with Jean-Claude Van Damme. And Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 as well. Karen Gillan as Nebula, and Dr. Darth Thanos, who was raised with Gamora's siblings and is a low lieutenant employee of Ronan and Thanos. The only movie I think, beautiful actress though, but I don't really care to see those Jumanji movies. I'm sorry, Josh and John, but I don't really care to see those films. Yeah, she's beautiful in those movies, but I think they over sexualize her, and I'm like, yeah, they do it in the wrong way. At least in here, she does a great job as Nebula. Yeah, and I do like the makeup, and her performance is good too. Demarshall Hosh as Gorth, uh, movie like I know he was in Fury 7, Never Back Down. I remember seeing him in that. He was also in okay, yeah, Shazam and yeah, playing the wizard in Shazam and the sequel Shazam, Shazam Fury of the Gods, and Black Adam. He has a cameo as the wizard in that. John C. Riley as Rowan Day. John C. Riley, you probably know him from comedies and stuff. I love Step Brothers. That's a great movie. Yeah, I'm gonna teabag your, I'm gonna teabag your drums. Or I love Talladega Nights as well. Shake, shake and bake, shake and bake. Hard Eight. Yeah, John C. Riley, good actor. Worked with Disney. Voiced Ralph and Wreck-It Ralph and Ralph Breaks the Internet. Yeah. Glenn Close says Irene Rill. She's the leader of the Nova Corps. But John C. Riley's character, Roman Day, he's the corpsman in the Nova Corps, like the Nova Empire military and police force. Glenn Close, movies like Fatal Attraction. She was good in that Air Force One with Harrison Ford. And funny, Harrison Ford is going to be in Marvel too, playing I think Ross, you know, Thunder Thunderbolt Ross or whatever, Red Hulk. Yeah, the paper I've never seen. I need to check it out. But anyway, I do remember her in Air Force One. That's a great movie as well. And 101 Dalmatians, the 1996 remake. Don't remember caring for the sequel, but I loved her performance. I love her performance as Cruella de Vil. She's fantastic. I'm sure I like Emma Stone, but when it comes to live action, Glenn Close is fantastic in that role. Hmm. And Benedict Del Toro as Talbot Tevin, the Collector, a really good actor. With the James Bond movie where he played Dario. Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of like dark, like smiles at you, gives you that wicked smile, and then pulls his knife out when he's gonna kill you. He was in the Wolfman. He was Star Wars Last Jedi, but he's completely wasted. Which came out in 2017. That was the same year as Guardians 2 came out. Big Top Pee Wee, License to Kill. I said License to Kill. Honestly, probably my favorite Bond movie. It used to be Casino Royale, but License to Kill is probably going to be my favorite. Yeah. Josh Brolin appears though uncredited though. But Brolin, you should probably know him from The Goonies, Men in Black 3. That's probably the first time I ever knew him because I didn't see The Goonies before. I didn't grow up watching The Goonies. My first time seeing him in a movie was when he played the young Agent K in Men in Black 3. And of course, plays Thanos, Avengers Infinity War Game, being the main villain in those movies. At least Marvel took their time with these films. You know, that's what I like about Marvel. And for the people, yeah, James Gunn, who directed and writes it too. Like I say, he directed the 2010 superhero black comedy superhero film, which I reviewed on my channel with Rainn Wilson, Elliot Page, and Liv Tyler, Kevin Bacon, Nathan Fillion. Love that movie. Really good. Definitely highly recommend it. But it is a rated R movie because in the movie The Crimson Bolt, that's the character's name, beats up people with a wrench. Yeah. Yeah. And of course, he directed The Suicide Squad as well, I think. So I remember really enjoying that movie. And like I said, he's going to be also directing the new Superman film. Yeah, and Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. I'm more curious about Supergirl. To be honest, Superman, I don't know. The show did not impress me, but who knows? I wasn't impressed to even see this movie in theaters, but who knows? Maybe he'll shock me again. But Nicole Perman, she's a screenwriter. She wrote films like as a consultant on Thor and Guardians of the Galaxy and Captain Marvel and Godzilla, the new X Con, the New Empire, and Pokemon Detective Pikachu. Special Guardians of the Galaxy by Dan Abnett and Andy Lerner. Who goes for the comics for it. Cinematography is by Ben Davis. Who's done cinematography for other movies like Miranda, Larry Cake, and Kick-Ass 2010 film directed Matthew Vaughn. Oh, sorry. And of course, Avengers: Age of Ultron, Doctor Strange, Captain Marvel, Cry Mako, which I think is a Clint Eastwood movie. Music is by Tyler Bates. He's done music for the John Wick franchise, Dawn of the Dead, 300, Sucker Punch, Halloween and Halloween 2. Is that the Rob Zombie one? It's okay. No, because it was John Carpenter who did those music for the original Halloween movies, and directed it too. It's just if production company is Marvel Studios, distributed by Walt Disney Studio Pictures. It was released August 1st, 2014 in the US. It's 122 minutes long. It's about 2 hours and 2 minutes. Not that long of a film. The budget probably or network of the budget was probably either $232 million or estimated to be $195.9 million. But on the budget, it did make $773.9 million worldwide. So it was a hit. Yeah. So anyway, let me talk about the plot. I know we're in 30 minutes, 40 minutes in, but I'm gonna talk about the plot synopsis and talk about the movie itself, maybe read some quotes, and give you my final thoughts and opinion on this movie and why I love it. But the story of Guardians of the Galaxy, the plot of the movie, is that the cast of the movie, well, the story is about the Guardians of the Galaxy themselves here, which consists of Star Lord, Gamora, Rocket Raccoon, Groot, and Drax. And their characters, they're basically like criminals. Chris, you know, Star Lord is a Ravager, he's a thief. Gamora is an assassin. Drax the Destroyer. His family was murdered, and so he's very brutal and can very much, you know, be a killer himself, be insane and a fighter. Rocket is they all start off as unlikable, and Rocket's a bit of a thief himself, steals stuff and does some criminal stuff too, just for money. And Groot is the most innocent character of them all. He's just more like Rocket's muscle. But anyway, the story of the movie is that Peter Quill finds himself at the quarry of relentless bounty hunters after he steals this orb that has an Infinity Stone in it, which he doesn't know about it, but people are after it, including Ronan, a power villain. Ronan wants to use it. Ronan the Accuser, played by Lee Pace, he wants to use it to get the power of it, and he wants to, kill billions of people on planets, wipe out planets. He wants to become very powerful. And in the meanwhile, while he still is you know, he has to, he gets nuns these truce with four desperate misfits that are like him. That is the Rocket Raccoon, Gamora, Groot, and Drax. But when he discovers the true power and the cosmic threat it poses, Groot must rely on his tag team. And even though this ragtag team, they don't like each other at first. They don't get along at first, which you would think would happen becoming a team. And they have to fight and they have to work together as a team and they have to team up and they have to stop running from destroying billions of Earths, destroying half the universe, and killing billions of people. And they have to team up and they have to become guardians of the galaxy and defeat him and take Ronan down. Yeah, yeah. That's the plot of the movie for you. If you know it, though, you've seen it. I'm just talking about it. Who doesn't know it? But let's talk about the movie itself, shall we? Yeah, I know we're in 36 minutes. I'm gonna get to it. Oh, it's about 9:35. Anyway, the movie opens up, and again, I'm not alone. Some 80s music, some 70s music. I can't help but say, okay, let me mention the soundtrack real quick to this film. So, just can't help it. Music. Yeah, you hear some 80s, 70s songs like Hooked on a Feeling, Go All the Way, Spirit in the Sky, Winter's Dream, Full Run, and Fell in Love, I'm Not in Love. I Want You Back, Come and Get Your Love, Cherry Bomb, Say the Pina Colada, Ain't No Mountain High, Ooh Child, Things Are Gonna Get Better. Those are not new songs though. They are from like the 70s and 80s. Yeah, but it really works with the movie, the music score as well. And Talabe's score is really good for the film. Yeah, I really liked his score at the climax of the movie as well. But anyway, beginning with the story, the film opens up in Missouri in 1988. You have a young Peter Quill who stands by his mother Meredith as she dies. He just listens to music. His grandfather like his grandfather comes to him. His grandpa comes to him and he says, "Peter, you talk to your mom." And he's like, "Honey, I'm dying, but I'm going to a better place. I love you, but your grandfather's gonna." She says, "Peter, I'm going to a better place. I just want you to know that I love you." You know, it's like, "But mom, why do you have to live in?" Peter is very young. He's, you know, I guess I think he's like 8 or 10 years old, and he doesn't understand why his mom's leaving him, and she's dying, and she gives him this present, which he doesn't open, but his grandfather puts it in the backpack, you know, in his backpack. And his mother's like, Peter, grab my hand, Peter, grab my hand, Peter. Peter runs off and screams and can't take that his mom's dying, and he runs to the hospital. He enters this field where the spaceship suddenly appears. They bring people over that it's Yondu, and then you get the Marvel opening credit, the Marvel logo playing, and then it hits about 26 years later. Peter is now, an adult. He is a Ravager calling himself Star Lord. They're led by Yondu, and he's got his own ship and stuff too. So he is kind of like a Han Solo, in a way, type character. Yeah, but he's more of a thief. Now you could say that was Han Solo too. I hate to say it, but Han Solo had a better ship. The Millennium Falcon was great. Anyway, basically, he tries to escape them. He just, from time to time, tries to get score and thieving. And I like it when we get Star Lord first in the movie, just coming to the space and, with this cool mask and stuff. Taking the mask off, having a CD playing, Come and Get Your Love. He's like, Come and Get Your Love. And he's dancing. That was a fun scene. Then you get the opening title, Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah. But he steals the arrow for himself. But Thorthor, the guy from Never Back Down, shows up. He's like, Freeze, who are you? He's like this. You might know me by another name. Star Lord. He's like, who? Come on, dude, Star Lord. But Peter gets away. He's able to shoot at them and shoot at the guy. And he's able to blast off and run away by using his gadgets. Get away from them, runs away from them, tries to shoot at them. Gets in his place. Apparently, he's dating this girl or whatever that's on his ship or sleeping with her. He's like, what's your name? Yeah, we're fine. We get out of here. And she accidentally, says, Peter going, no, no, no. And John Dude's like, well, where you at? I need you right now. He's got that. Yeah, I love Michael Rooker in this movie. He's just great. And he's just so intimidating as John Dude. He's not a guy that you want to cross. But John Dude's like, you come back here now. You get over here now. We need you. He's like, boy, I'll raise you right. Because these drivers, they wanted to eat you up, boy. And who saved you? Me. And he's like, I was like, you put a bounty on his head right now, on Quill's head. You know, there's a peace treaty between the people and the Exordorians and the Noble Impact. You know, Glenn Close's character, who's like, let's say the leader of the Noble Impact, she's like the president or whatever. She has to talk to them, saying that Ronan is murdering women and children. He's like, well, that's not my problem. Bye. Yeah. So like, fresh. Yeah. Ronan, despite that though, has been invading invading the invading Alexander controlled Natalie War killing 100,000 of mag requests for parody. You have Lee Pace. The makeup and stuff looks nice on him for Ronan. Yeah, Ronan, who's your main villain of the film, who's Thanos' daughters are working for him. That is Gamora, and Gamora offers to go get the Oracle because Thanos does it because Thanos. I think Thanos was always planning to get the Infinity Stones. Always has, at this time, planned to get it and planned to wipe out the universe. And he made a promise to Ronan. He'll wipe out Xando for him if he gets the form, which he agrees to. But Gamora, who's an assassin, because Nebula, you're not capable of it, but she has her own plans though. And Gamora is sent to this, where. Well, first we come to this place. Stanley has a cameo. Stanley also has a producer on this movie, but you have who's drinking. I was like, no, drink that. It's not good for you. No, it's not good for you. He gets like a picture of goes like, oh, million units for him. For them, that's like $1 million of money, I guess, around this time. And Peter tries to go to the guy, tries to talk to him. So on the orb mentions Ronan. He's like, get out of here. I don't want anything to Ronan. I'm gonna keep my life safe. I don't want to mess with Ronan because he's scared of Ronan. And Peter's like, come on, bro, we had a deal. And then he sees Gamora, and Gamora's like, you're an honorable man. And Gamora kind of like, I guess, tricks him a bit. She kicks him away, and they fight a little bit. Rocket and Groot show up. He's like, don't attack her, attack him. And she's able to, get him away when he's on top of her. Rocket's like on top of Gamora's head, attacking her. They fight a bit. They fight and play hot potato a bit with the orb until they're captured by the Novak police. But the Nova Corps captures them. They go to, they say, Gamora. They, just the character Gamora's just smiling. And Groot's like, spits on the ground, and Groot's like, Mom? And Peter goes like, he starts like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know this worked. They send him to Kylan, planet called Kylan, which is like a prison. Star, Gamora says she has her own plans, though she's planning to actually still, I mean, planning to betray him and get away from them. Yeah. And then you meet Drax, who his family, his wife and daughter was murdered, killed by Ronan, so he seeks revenge, seeks his eyes on Gamora. Peter tries to take his tape recorder back of his music, and he gets shot for it, and he gets hooked on a villain. They can't do nothing. You know, they get taped with, hosed down with water. And when you see, you can see that they play in the third movie, but with Rocket, you can tell, he's got like these injuries on his back that he's been through a lot, and the prisoners try to mess with him. Like, I'm gonna make you my lover or something like that. But anyway, Groot, puts his sticks up at this guy's nose literally and says, anybody messes it up, he's off. You know, then, these prisoners attack Gamora, threatening to kill her, and Peter goes to see it. Peter goes to see it, and he saves Gamora. Well, not saves Gamora, but Drax shows up. Like, I'm going to kill her. He visits Drax. Like, you don't need to kill her. Maybe Ronan will come for her, and then you can. Like, I want to put my finger on his throat. He's like, slash his throat. Yes, you kill him. Yes, and then he stops. He's able to get get to Ronan, and then you have a scene where Ronan finds out that Gamora failed. She got captured, and you just see Thanos briefly. He looks up better in Infinity War. He looks good here too, but I like the way they made the character look. But he tells him, Thanos, this happened, and your daughter messed up. It's not my fault that your daughter screwed up and betrayed me. It's like, this is not my fault, boy. You need to get things done right. It's like, and bring me that back. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And one of the other who was in the Avengers Infinity War. I mean, Avengers, the first Avengers movie. Ronan narrowly breaks his neck. Ronan just attacks him, kills him. He's got the hammer, which can, go straight. Those, Thanos like when he gives that smile. But he's just briefly. He's not the main villain. That is Ronan in the film. But Thanos tells him that if he's empty-handed again, he comes do make a mistake, he will bathe the stairways in his blood. But then Quill, he was able to make a deal with talk to Gamora. He's like, why'd you do that? He's like, well, they have a right to kill you, and they talk and they make a deal for the orb to go to the. She's like, I got a buyer. We can go meet him and we can make a deal. But they had to plan an escape, which kind of just randomly happens. Randomly happens. So so Groot says, "I am Groot. I am Groot." Yeah, he says that for like the 150th time. That's just his language. But they escape. They talk about it. And it's like, well, come on, maybe you can use your looks in these guys because they think you're hot. No, they do. They do find you attractive. They do. But as they're talking, they got to get this battery that will shut down the prison. Will help them to escape. And Groot just goes for it. Just randomly, goes for it. Let's go all out. He goes for it. Throws the guy in the head, which I thought was hilarious. Grabs it, and then you get the scene where I am Groot. Groot, picks up his trees lump. Turns about into like a big tree, and you know, Drax sees that getting attacked, and he throws, he's like Rocket. He throws the gun to Rocket, and Rocket starts shooting. Rocket's like, oh yeah, and they start shooting him. which I thought was pretty cool seeing them yelling. So that was awesome. Uh, that Gamora's up knocking a few guys, and few the prisoners. So was Star Lord, and he's like, "There's a leg you need." He's like, "I didn't need a leg. I just wanted. I was just kidding." But they're trying to break it out. He's trying to figure it out. They're like, "We gotta get out of here. We're gonna get shot and die." Gamora's like, "I'm gonna die with the biggest idiots in the world," and they take off. They explain that what they're gonna do. The buyer, you know, but what Thanos is? I mean, not Thanos. Drax is not interested in money. He's only interested in revenge. And him and Gamora don't get along. He's like, "What's this brute doing here?" He's like, "You're not gonna do anything. Make a mistake." Yeah. But the Guardians get away. Yeah. They go to a planet called Nowhere. They spend their time, they kind of like gamble. I guess it's like a lizard with lizards with these creatures that I guess it's kind of like playing poker, but with animals in a way. And they fight and they're getting drunk. And Gamora and uh, Star Lord, Peter have a moment. He tells her about his mother. He doesn't really want to talk about that, but plays music. We kind of Kevin Bacon. He was a great hero. Because these people stick up their butts and teach them how to dance. Because Star Lord loves to dance. And she's like, well, why would people be sticking their butts up there? That's pretty disturbing. He's like, no, just use them, as an example, explanation. She doesn't understand. But he puts the music in her. She likes the music and try to share, almost supposed to kiss Gamora, but Gamora grabs was like, I would not be fooled by your foolishness, you know. Where Stab was like, I'm not doing that. But until then, you have Drax get into a fight with Groot, and you know, Drax. I mean, this is Rocket off, and they're about to attack each other, and they're backing up. I was like, calm down. They're like, you don't ever tell me I'm gonna do it again. That I'm a rocket, that I'm a freak or whatever. And I was like, until they blast you, and then they just walk away from each other. And they said, just let him go. Drax just walks off, pissed off. And they go meet the collector while his servant, this girl that, is a servant of his, is like the collector. And he looks into, Chris is like, you were interested in specimen, Groot. It's like, I am Groot. He's like, well, this is your past. Like, what? He's like, calm down. And he tells him about the Infinity Stones. When the collector, played by Bennett Toro, the, it's a measure, this is a measurable power. It destroys all but the most powerful beings who wield it. Trevor explains that the stones were the remnants of six synergies that predate the universe. Their power could packed into six stones, but the power was too great for all. But the most powerful begins wield, all others are destroyed. Then Tevin prepares to give the outlaws their payment, but Karina, seeing the chance to free herself in the service under the collector, she grabs the stones like, if he's like, no, she grabs it. I will no longer be your servant. But this thing can destroy the universe. She grabs it. Nice special effects, by the way. She blows up, dies, and Drax, by the way, is able to attack the guy, get him the radio signal for because he wants to kill Ronan, so he wants to leave Ronan here, which works. Ronan's like, "You're the one that said the signal." He's like, "Yeah, you killed my wife and daughter." He's like, "I don't recall killing your family," and he tries to attack Lee Pace, tries to attack Ronan, but Ronan beats the hell out of Drax, beats him, kicks his ass. Drax gets his ass beat. He's like, I don't recall killing your family, but if I did, I must enjoy it, and I won't even remember killing you. And throws him in a pool of water. It's like yellow water, you know. But Drax and them, not Drax, well, Groot, I mean, not Groot, Star Lord, you know, Peter and Gamora talk just like, we need to give this to Novak, we need to give this to the police force because Ronan's insane. If he gets hit, we cannot let him touch us. Or we can just go to the Ravager, we can go sell it for a price. It's like dishonorable, Peter. And when that happens with his fight, they have to fight off Ronan's goons. Nebula's like, don't do this, and Nebula nearly kills his sister. She nearly sorry, she comes close to actually she blows up her ship. You know, it's like they're positive flying in, fighting Rona's gang, trying to get away from them, from getting the orb, but they do get the orb. Gamora has it. Nebula blows up the ship. She's about the ship blows up the pod. Nebula blows it up, trying to kill her. Then they got the orb with the Infinity Stone in it. Uh, Gamora's about to die, but Peter, sacrifices him by putting her helmet on, his helmet onto her, his space helmet, and he's like, "Yondu, just come and find me." And Yondu does, and they get on the ship like, "I was only saving you," and Charles like, well, "Yeah, that's the thing in that moment." And they nearly beat up on Peter, and Drax gets saved, almost drowns, but gets saved by Groot, who, you know, does like kind of like Steve Irwin way, but his arm like a stick and puts it in his chest, so to get the water out of his mouth, save his life, and it's like Rocket's like, how could you be so stupid? It's like I was just full. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done this. I was full of anger and hate towards my family dying. Well, boo hoo. It's like, I know it's mean, but so what? It's true. Well, everyone has dead people. Everyone has, loved ones that died. He's like, but that's no reason to get everybody else killed. It's like, you're right. It's like the two of us will say, no, three of us. And Drax, apologize for what he did. Yeah. But Peter gets beaten up a little bit by, and almost killed by Yondu. Because Yondu earlier met the guy that was trying to find out who the bar was. And Yondu knew the scares the guy. He's like, Yondu does this like, yappity yappity yo, yappity yappity yo. I don't know how he says it, but it's funny when Yondu says it. Yondu, nearly, when he does that whistle, gets that arrow on him, close to killing him, but doesn't. They beat Peter up and they're all good now. And they're gonna, you know, blow up their ship, which nearly works. Until Peter says, no, we're fine, we're good, we're good. But Ronan talks to Thanos, and Thanos like, you don't give it that to me sooner. And Thanos says no, and Thanos opens it, like, and puts it in his hand, and it makes it very powerful. He's like, I'm going to destroy half the universe, and then I'm going to come for you, Thanos. Thanos is like, yeah, like you call me a boy, but I'm not a man. You know. But then the group they talk, and they need to have a big plan. Peter's like, you know what? I'm one of the biggest idiots that live in the neighborhood. You know, we're we're freaking losers. But you know what? If we team up and work together, you know, we need to save the universe. I refuse to stand by and just let Ronan destroy the universe. I refuse to let innocent billion people die. We're scavengers, we're hunters, we're thieves, we're assassins. You know, we've lost loved ones, families. And when, like I said, with the Guardians, when the characters start off, they're not heroes at all. They're criminals. They can be thieves. They're not really that all good guys in the beginning. But as the movie goes on, with character development, they start to bond a little more, and the characters grow. You know, James Gunn know how to really develop these characters and make them likable. Yeah, you might not think they're as likable, like when these little kids are passing, them like, get away from me, boo hoo, get away from me. But except Groot is the most innocent one. He gives this girl like from his hands able to create like a little flower. He's like the most innocent of the all the characters. You know, and then Clue is able to convince them just to defend the galaxy. That's what we should do. Help out and team up and work together. And they said, I'm in. And Rory's like, we're gonna die, but I'm in. You know, uh, Star Lord calls John C. Riley, who was like the Nova Corps, the Nova Corps commander, whatever. Gives him a call. They're able to they come to an arrangement. They got the cool spaceships. Like if you've been to Disneyland, I remember around the Disneyland for being to Disneyland 2023, World of Guardians Galaxy Ride. I remember them having the ships. Like I recognize that from this movie. and that's cool. And they have to come up with a plan to sneak on the ship. Gamora has to open a gate. They have to get on running the ship, and it's like kind of like a Star Wars battle, which is cool. Right, in Star Wars battle, you like to put a force shield over his ship, and Nebula, who wants to help Ronan, she's like, "I'll just help you destroy the universe," you know. And her and Gamora fight. They've always made each other's throats. Gamora's always been the better assassin, and she has this so much jealousy and hatred. And I think she really Nebula character. I think that becomes she's always been at the torture hands of Thanos, who you know she's basically like a robot. You know, I forgot to mention when they meet him at first. Well, I love the music score when they get onto the ship and Groot is able to create like not flowers, but kind of like of lightning bugs, if you will. You know, of these yellow flowers. Lightning bugs. Of lightning them. It's beautiful to look at. It's like I would die with my friends, and was like, "Oh, would you stop?" And you know, Neville's like, "I'm gonna get revenge. I'm gonna get you, Gamora." And she shoots Gamora, and they have that fight. And Star-Lord meets up with the guy from there right now. It's like Star-Lord's like, finally, they get into a fight, and Drax kills him in an awesome way, and they fight. They pretty good fight. Drax, the actor from Never Back Down, black actor, he like grabs his robot and he grabs his head out of it, grabs his whatever's in his head or whatever, and Groot is able to push him like Kelly's Mr. Fantastic. He's like, ah, 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 and Star-Lord looks at Drax and Drax like, and fight, which I thought was hilarious. They're talking them, talking them. Groot looks and is like, yeah, and Nebula, nearly gets destroyed. Well, then she kicks her, but she's able to get off the ship by cutting her. It's like, get off, and flies away. And the Nova Corps, who's with their ships helping them out, Glenn Glenn Close, who allies with them. First, they think they trust Star-Lord, but they do, but some of them die. Peter tries to create this weapon and shoot at him, but it doesn't work. He uses, his power to destroy the Nova Corps fleet, including Dorothy and Seal, and easily overmatches, you know, Will's team. The team. Rocket flees the ship into the Dark Esther into Ronan. Some of them's killing him, but it doesn't work. The Dark Esther is about to crash. And this is a sad moment in the movie where they're about to all die. And Groot sacrifices himself by putting them all in a tree. And Rocket's like, please don't do this. He's about to die. Because they've been friends for a long time. And it was like Groot's about to cry too. And he, wipes a tear off of his face. It's like, you don't do this. And Groot dies. It's like, no, Groot, no. And he's just a stick now. And Ronan comes out, like, going to get them with his weapon. And, Rocket tries to go tag him, but he's you know, is able to knock Rocket up. So it's like, Richard guards the galaxy. No, I'm going to rule. No, I'm going to take over you. I'm going to kill you. And, while he's talking, Rocket's able to build this weapon. And Star-Lord's like, ooh, child, things are going to get better. And he's like, what are you doing? He's like, ooh, child, dance off, bro. Ooh, child, things are going to get better. Ooh, child. And he's like, Gamora. Okay. He's like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm distracting you. Huh. And then, Drax and Drax and Rocket, they shoot him with a weapon. And he opens up you know, the phones of his hands. But like I said, with Charlie being half morning, he's able to grab that Infinity Stone and overpower it. And Gamora's like, take my hand, Peter, take my hand. She's like, he sees a vision of his mom. But he grabs her hand, and so does Drax, and then eventually Rocket, you know. And the music score in this scene, though, sorry if I can't see it too well, but the music score I thought was fantastic in this scene, the lead score. And, the, she was like, how can you do this? You're immortal. You know, it's like you said before, bitch. We're the Guardians of the Galaxy. and then and Ronan's about to attack, and then Peter uses the power on him and kills Ronan, and destroys him for good. And then Yondu comes. I forgot to mention the scene where Yondu, these men try to kill him, Ronan Archer tries to kill him, but he's able to, you know, use his arrow whistling, kills them all, puts Sarah back, they'll drop dead. And then he's like, I may be, he goes like, well, it's time to make you that deal, Quill. I may be as pretty as an angel, but I ain't one. You know, gonna kill him. But instead that doesn't work. He's like, okay, I'll give it to you. But then you feel like he switched it. It's like a little toy inside, which he finds later. He switched containers. It's one of the troll dolls that's in there. And when Yondu sees it, Yondu smiles. Probably because he teach him that trade. Yeah. Kill, they get things by Noble Corp, they thank them and appreciate them as like your criminal records have been disproved. And Gru's like, what if I want to steal something or take something from somebody, but they don't want it? Well, that's thief. It's like, what if I want to rip a man's head off or rip his spine off? That's murder. That's the highest capital crime. You can't do that. And they take off and tells John C. Riley. Well, Star tells John C. Riley's like, I'm gonna watch out for these. You? He's like, yes, I'm gonna look after them. And they basically made, of course, that he's half human and that his father belongs to an ancient alien race that they've not encountered. But we don't find that until the sequel, to Guardians 2. The Guardians don't leave Alexander and the men alone, kind of like their Millennium Falcon in a way, which is prepared by the Nova Corps. And they venture out for a search for adventure. He listens to the music. Ain't no mountain high song going on. He puts the music on. Gamora just is like, well, come on, Peter. You know, and say, gang, should we go look for trouble? Or go do something bad? Do something? We'll follow your lead, Star Lord, Gamora says. And along with Groot growing back up. And they take off and go on their next adventure. And, you have the one, two incredible one credit scene where, that Jackson 5 song is playing. You know, ABC 123 gets by the Jackson 5 is playing. Groot's dancing. And Drax is like pushing up goes like, and he's got dances more. And then at that scene, you have, meanwhile, for the post credit scene, you have the collector. He searches his destroyed archive. He's led by Cosmo, his dog. And he gets spotted by one of his collection, which is Howard the Duck. Yeah, they had to put Howard. And that's Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah. Let me read some quotes real quick, y'all. Drop it. Hey. Drop it now. Hey, okay, cool, man. No problem, no problem. No problem at all. How do you know about this? I don't even know what this is. I'm just a junker, man. You just checking it out. You don't look like a junker. You're wearing a Ravager's garb. This is an outfit, man. Ninja Turtle, you better. I think his name is Ninja Turtle. You better stop poking me. I don't even know what they said that is. I'm just a junker, man. Just checking out stuff. You don't look like a junker. Yeah. What's your name? My name is Peter Quill. Okay, dude. Just chill out. Or I may have questions for you. Hey, you know what? There's another name. I know we named by Star Lord. Who? Star Lord, the man. The legendary outlaw? Guys, come on. I'll forget this. They call me terrorist, radical, settler, because I obey the ancient laws of my people with the Kree. Punish those who do not, because I do not forgive your people for taking the life of my father and his father before him. 7 years of war between us will not be forgotten. You can't do this. Our government has signed a peace treaty. My government knows no shame. Your Alexanders and your culture are disease. You would never rule Alexander. No, I will cure it. With all due respect, Thanos, your daughter made this mess, yet summoned me. I would lower my voice to accuse her. First, she lost her battle to some primitive. Thanos put Gamora under your charge. Then she was apprehended by Novichok. You are the one here. Lower your tone. Maybe there are, run fires that use sonic pulse, killing the other. Thanos, the only man I do not take seriously, boy, is you. Your politics bore me. Your demeanor is that of a poor child. Apparently, you're alienating my favorite daughter, Gamora. I shall honor your agreement. Bree, if you bring me the orb, I will return again. And I will bathe in the starways in your blood. Thanks, Dad. Sounds fair. This is one fight you won't win. Let's head to the Common. You men who is lame with all asking. It was just one time, man. And Quill, your ship is filthy. Well, she has no idea if I had a blood like this will look like a Jackson Pollock painting. You've got issues, Quill. I'm a warrior, an assassin. I do not dance. Really well on my planet we have legend about people like you. It's called Footloose, and it's a great hero named Kevin Bacon teaches an impressively full of people with sticks up their butts. Well, it's a great dancing. Well, it's the greatest thing there is. Who put that sticks up there? That's up their butts. That's cruel. Oh no, stop it. Who? What are you doing? This Bruno speaks out of He knows nothing. That is true. He has no respect. That is also true. Hold on. You calling me vermin, tough guy? You just want to laugh at me? Everyone else, Rocket, you're drunk. All right. No one laughs at you. He thinks I'm some stupid thing. He does. He called me vermin. The collector. I never thought I meant a brute, sir. Mr. Presley, pay you pay. I'm getting tired of being close. All right, guys. Yeah, that's fine. What's reading. But yeah, a lot of good dialogue in the film. I want to give you my final opinion. I'm about to be done, so I'm gonna give my final opinion on this movie. I used to have on DVD, but I upgraded to Blu-ray. Blu-ray, you do have, Guide to the Galaxy with James Gunn and 8-bit factor leads you to the adventure, I guess, the making of this movie. The visual effects for the Guardians of the Galaxy, gag reel for the cast, deleted scenes with commentary by James Gunn, audio commentary by James Gunn, yeah, and behind the scenes, yeah. But anyway, to give my final thoughts, I love Guardians of the Galaxy. This is probably, what, I used to think this is my favorite. I think Captain America: The Winter Soldier is probably my favorite MCU movie, but this is definitely one of the best Marvel movies out there, in my opinion, of the MCU, and one of the best Marvel films I think ever made. Why? Because number one, I love the story. I think the stories were good. Yeah, this film could have flopped if James Gunn had not been at the helm directing it. It could have been trash. It could have been an awful, awful movie. I can see why they did it though, because I think they were planning it ahead of time. But it was time they planned it before the Avengers. Then the Avengers came out, and you had the X Men movies, of course. That well, some of them like What Days of Future Past came out the same year, and that was a great movie too. But Avengers made money. Iron Man 3 made billions of dollars. So, who could blame them? They probably say, well, let's bring in Guardians of the Galaxy because the Avengers, like I said, Avengers made money. The MCU was doing well at the time. They were making money. It's definitely better than Iron Man 3, which is one of the weakest of the MCU movies, one of my least favorites. But this had a great cast. I thought they had a really good deal. I think James Gunn did a great job directing the movie. I'm a little not sure about his DC. I don't really care to see his Swamp Thing movie. His Superman movie, the trailer did not really impress me. It looks like a bad CW show to me, but I don't know. It just doesn't interest me. Nicholas was less either, I'm not sure. It's like when Jesse Eisenberg played him, and I didn't like Jesse Eisenberg at all. But I could wait for the DVD or TV to watch on TV someday. But I'm in no rush to go see a new Superman film, but that's just me. I'd rather have Guardians 4, but I know he had in Guardians though, but I do think they could have made another movie for Guardians. But I love this movie. Well, like I said, the story's really good. I like our characters here. Star Lord, cool name, cool character. I like his mask and stuff. Gamora, Sazonda, I like her in green. The makeup is really good, and she's gorgeous in green. Beautiful actress as well. Yeah, and I do like Drax. The makeup for Drax is good, and the CGI for Groot, and I think for these characters, yeah, there's some practical visual effects in here which I love. I'm glad that he wanted to use that. The visual effects, well, before I get to all that, first of all, like I said, the story is really good about these characters who are unlikable. They're thieves, they're crooks a little bit. Well, not crooks, but they're not the best people to be around. They don't really have friends. They're not the nicest people to be around because within 5 seconds they're ready to either kill you or steal from you, you know, or get into a fight with you. But throughout the movie, they do become heroes. They do save the world from Ronan, and they become better people by then. I mean, they're still somewhat bad deep down, but they're good. They just start off as not the best, kind of people you meet, and they don't start off as heroes. But and that goes along. But throughout the movie, chemistry between them is good. You buy them being a team. You buy them becoming friends, and eventually throughout the next two sequels, they become like a family, and it builds up nicely. That like good character development. with them. With I think Gamora and Star Lord had good chemistry. You can find them that they're falling for each other. I think he saved Gamora because he cares for Gamora. You know, there's chemistry there. There's a sparks of love there. Building slowly throughout the movie between them. Come on, we can just see it ahead. And then you have, when Groot dies, that was sad, and that made me cry too. And, yeah, I'll be honest because I cared. And there was a moment where he's crying over where when Groot dies, and Drax says for them cries, and Drax just pats him on the head. Like saying it's gonna be okay, buddy. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. See, kind of like a brotherly moment. Kind of like a good family moment there. Yes, that's what you need between all your cast ensemble characters, building a those team and eventually like becoming good friends. You know, they build that up very well. But the story is good. James Gunn did a great job directing and writing the story. Uh, the CGI visual effects are beautiful. I love the visual effects. I love the 80s and 70s. The 70s, 80s music is great. It really fits the tone of the movie. The music by Tyler Bates is really good. The cinematography by Ben Davis is good. I love the way they look at the film. I love the CGI, the visual effects, the universe. It's like they're building a Star Wars field. And at the time, I think it's what, in my opinion, is what the MCU needed. We already had the Avengers films, the Iron Man movies, the two Thor movies, the Captain America movies. So it's time to bring in. I thought it was a good time. I think it was a good time for them to bring in new characters into the MCU, which they do with other movies. Like I said, 2015, you'd have Ant Man, and then 2016, Doctor Strange, and then eventually a Black Panther movie in 2018, in 2017 Spider-Man: Homecoming, in 2019 Captain Marvel. Yeah, so it's like Marvel just kept on bringing new characters in. Yeah, but the editing I thought was really good. It's edited by three people, which I forgot to mention by the way. Fair Atkinson, who did films like the Fast and the Furious film series, Quentin Tarantino's Django Chain, The Hateful Eight, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Any other superhero movies? Guardians 2. Did he work on the third movie? Yes, and the Suicide Squad, which was also directed by Gunn. Greg Wood, who has worked on some, let's see, Mouse Hunt, The Crow. Okay. Well, additional editing on that movie. Mouse Hunt, The Mexican, We Were Soldiers, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chestnut Rolls In, and The Curse of Black Pearl, Never Back Down, The Lone Ranger. Oh, I hate that movie. Terrible film. But editing is fine. Hugh Woodburn, who did it for the Sling Blade, All She Ever Wanted, and Pixels with Adam Sandler. But editing is really good. The action scenes are well shot, I think. Musical is real good. And it feels like a fast-paced movie. It's 120 minutes long, and it doesn't feel like it. Again, it's just we're building, we're getting to know the Guardians themselves, and the rest of the cast I thought was good. Yeah, John C. Riley, Glenn Close. They're not here a lot, but when they are here, I wish they had a little more screen time. But I get it. It is a Guardians of the Galaxy movie, so the characters are gonna get more screen time than them. But John C. Riley and Glenn Close, they were fantastic in their roles. They were great. Yeah, Bradley Cooper did a great job as well. Dinesh Haas, he's okay in here as Groff. Benedict Toro, for his small part in the movie, he's good in credit scene. Josh Brolin, even though he's uncredited, he does good in here. But he only gets like, what, 10 seconds of screen time? Yeah. Uh, yeah. Now my issues with the movie. Okay, first of all, the villains. Ronan the Accuser, while he plays, I felt did a good job. Like Maliki and The Other World, he's just a bland and forgettable villain, in my opinion. He was just Ronan the Accuser was not interesting. He was boring of a villain. Thanos was more interesting. But again, I get it. They're building up to Thanos for Infinity War, and you say Ronan was new, was working with him or would do some stuff for Thanos. It's very cliche that the bigger baddie is Thanos, and cliche movies when villains want power. I've seen in other superhero movies where, or the movies where superhero films where the villain, they always get power. It's very cliche in superhero films where they'll get power and they want more of it. They just have an insane reason for doing it. Ronan doesn't really have no character character development. No, I've seen all the other villains in the movies, but Ironmonger is Obadiah Stane had a good reason. We didn't need that explained. You don't need to explain every time a villain, but Obadiah Stane, Jeff Bridges was great in that movie, being jealous of Tony Stark, and you got his motive. And the Abomination, he was just got that load to fight and was crazy, and Abomination was awesome. Iron Man 2, even though maybe you got his why, but he felt a bit underused in that movie, but he was still great and more memorable and more interesting of a character. I didn't mind Justin Hammer in the movie. You didn't need Sam Rockwell in there. But I forgot to mention was in Teenage Mutant Turtles from 1990. But anyway, and then after I mentioned the Avengers, you know, Thor, Loki was a great villain in Thor and the Avengers as well. And Red Skull was a great villain as well. They're just a lot more memorable. But when you get to in Winter Soldier, Robert Redford, great villain, and so was Winter Soldier himself, even though he was being used. But Guardians of the Galaxy, yeah, and those were Malachi, they're not very good villains in my opinion. They're just not interesting. They're very bland and forgettable. Throughout the other main henchmen, he's forgettable. They're not very memorable. I'm not saying they're terrible in their performance. They're good, but they're uninteresting. And I didn't care for the end credit post credit scene. It's probably one of my least probably my least favorite post credit scene I've seen in a Marvel movie. I don't care about the Howard Duck character. The movie I could watch for fun, but just to throw Howard the Duck in here, I'm like, I thought that was lame. I'm sorry, I don't care. What was the point of that in credit scene anyway? I guess to be funny, but I didn't find it funny. I was like, I didn't care, about that. We didn't need to have Howard the Duck in here. That just kind of was like out of nowhere. Just didn't make no sense to me. Despite those problems I have with the movie, with the villains being interesting in the post credit scene, I didn't care for. It didn't do anything. Didn't do much for me. Didn't really care about Howard the Duck being making a cameo. I'm like, really? A character that's not that interesting, you want to throw the cameo scene. I'm like, really? That just seems that they want to just add that in. I'm like, don't know why. But anyway, despite that though, I still love this movie. It is a great film and one of the best Marvel movies ever made in my opinion. One of the best MCU. Love this movie. Love these characters. These four are the main reasons why you gotta have great characters, and this movie has that. It's got the Star Wars feel to it. It's better than 2015. The Star Wars sequel trilogy. One, I don't care for Rey. I don't like Daisy Ridley. I don't care for Poe, even though he was Black Stormtrooper. I don't care for Finn. I didn't care for the new Star Wars characters. They're just remakes of Star Wars. This isn't a remake. This is something different. Yeah, it's got the Star Wars in the Flash Gordon vibe to it, but it works. And number one, the story is good, and I care about the characters. Yeah, and the acting is good, mainly because of the story and all of the characters. That's why I enjoyed this film, mainly because of that. And most of the things, the music was good, the 80s, 70s music. Yeah, yeah, and it's a very enjoyable film. It's entertaining and it's a fun watch. Yeah, so I love this movie. Guardians is a great movie, one of my favorite MCU movies, probably top five. I don't know about the sequel yet, but I will review Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 and Volume 3 as well. When I get to the year when 2020's era superheroes. Guardians 2 was 2017, so it'll be a while before I get to that one, but I'll get to it. But I love Guardians of the Galaxy, the first movie. So my rating for the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, or just Guardians of the Galaxy, the first movie, is my rating for this film. I'm going to give it a thumbs up and 4 to 5 stars. So guys, tell me in the comments down below, what do you think of the first Guardians of the Galaxy film in your opinion? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you agree with me that it's a great movie, but has some issues with the villains and stuff? At least that I have. But despite that, it's still an entertaining film, and I recommend it. So once again, my rating for Guardians of the Galaxy is 4 to 5 stars and a thumbs up. Entertaining movie, fun to watch. If you want good characters, good development, if you love Star Wars, you've seen Flash Gordon from 1980, starring Samuel J. Jones. You love Star Wars, or you just love superhero movies or Marvel, then this will be for you. Trust me, it is worth it. You know, if you don't like superhero movies nowadays, definitely recommend this one. So anyway, stay tuned for the next. I got two more 2014 films to go. Then we'll be on the year 2015. I'll go and see the first one, I guess. But anyway, The next review was, oh my gosh, this is Michael Bay's film. Well, he produced it, not directed it, but still, I remember liking this movie starring Megan Fox. Yes. And that is the 2014 film Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Oh my gosh. So this will probably be a rant coming up next. Yeah, I'm not keeping this movie. I know what you're thinking. I have the sequel too. I don't like the sequel either, but they're superhero movies, so they count. And I did review the ones from the 90s and the 2007 movie. I reviewed that for Ninja Turtles. Check it out on my playlist. And I did review the TV specials, Turtle Tunes, and in December, in last month in December, I reviewed 2024. I reviewed the Turtles Christmas special, whatever. That was crap. You'll see it on there. And this is crap too. So look forward to the rant coming up next on this garbage. So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles will be next, and then Big Hero 6. I'm going to review Big Hero 6 because that is a superhero movie. Then when we start with 2015, we're going to start with, because this came out in January, we'll be starting with another DC animated original movie. That'll be Justice League Dawn of Atlantis. So, which might not be on Sunday. I might have things to do. So it could be possibly on Wednesday. So yeah, I have my work schedule. I'll plan out the reviews and stuff. But Just like Dawn of Atlantis, that'll be the start for 2015. So guys, these are the next reviews coming up. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the 2014 Michael Bay film, Michael Bay produced movie, whatever. And then Big Hero 6, the last 2014 review I do. Then we start 2015, Justice League Dawn of Atlantis, and a revisit review for Marvel. I'll do that later. Okay, I'll just say it. I reviewed Batman vs Superman. There were three 2015 Batman movies that came out, but I reviewed them already. Oh, and X-Men Days of Future Past, the Road Cut. Will be a revisit review for Avengers Age of Ultron. Revisit review for this. And a revisit review for, what's it, X-Men Days of Future Past. Uh, Ant-Man. Revisit review, the first Ant-Man film. Justice League Gods and Monsters, another DC animated original movie. And then Batman Unlimited, Animal Instincts, that came out on my birthday, May 12th. And August 18th came out Batman Unlimited Mush Man, which I will be sharing those reviews, guys. So you won't be seeing reviews of those, but I will share them on my DC reviews and superhero reviews. And so in the last 2015 review I do will be a review for Fan Four State Fantastic Four from 2015, which I remember not hating. But yeah, I will be reviewing this again. Did it on my channel. I'm gonna do it on this channel. It'll be a revisit review as well. All right, well, that's all the reviews coming up, guys. Again, tell me in the comments down below. What do you think of Guardians of the Galaxy in your opinion? My rating for this film, once again, is 4 to 5 stars. And a thumbs up. Sorry for the long video, guys. I know I couldn't help it. Love talking about this film. But anyway, guys, stay tuned. Stay tuned for the next review, which will be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles coming up next. Stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.